Welcome to Abyss Challenge floor number 15. On this floor we fight Ravi. Now this is probably the hardest of the new Abyss floors, so I'm going to go over some mechanics. As with every floor, damage that's based on the target's HP is cut in half, so Daydream Joker works, but it works with 50% power. Also, CR pushback skills are likewise cut in half. So there are a lot of skills to read up on, so I'm going to go over the important points here. For starters, if you crit either of the adds, they'll CR push the enemy by 25%. That's 50% CR push to the enemy team if you do an AOE and crit both of them, so AOEs are no good here. Other than that, the adds have some other nasty skills like defense breaks, strips, debuff, extensions, skills that randomly CR push you back 10 to 40%, and it's lovely, right? Now let's talk about Ravi. Every third time you hit Ravi will trigger a counterattack that stuns you for one turn. So you really need to pay attention to how many times you've hit Ravi so you can time which unit is going to eat the stun on that third hit. She also applies a buff called Berserk, and Berserk increases in power every turn until she does her Devil Dive ultimate, which resets the Berserk skill. Now to get that third star bonus for this level, you need to stack 5 identical debuffs on her while she has Berserk level 4 up. And she's immune to poison, so basically you've got to do this with burns and bleeds. Now, Ravi's ultimate skill is an AOE Strip that reduces your ability to heal by 10%, and this can stack up to 5 times, basically cutting your ability to heal in half. On top of that, she takes away 80% of your health. Yes, 80% of your total current health. She almost kills you with one shot. And the icing on the cake is that her slaughter attack can randomly stun you. So you got all that? Yeah, I know, it's a lot. I'll put a review of it in the description of the video so you can check up on it later to remind you of the finer points of this fight. So, I need to stack 5 debuffs on Ravi in one turn. So the unit I'm going to do that with is Tempest Surin. She puts up to 2 bleeds with her S1, and I'm running this artifact for a chance for 2 additional bleeds. That, with lots and lots cycling around, I should be able to get 5 bleeds in one turn. Fire Surin, I think, is just naturally better at this. Fire Surin can do 2 to 4 bleeds with her S2 and does more bleeds with her S1. You probably don't even need to put her on the Torn Sleeve artifact. You could probably run her on Daydream Joker and she'd even be a better damage dealer than Tempest Surin. But my Fire Surin's not built, and I don't have a Grace of Growth to spare. If you're running lots, you might want to consider turning off the dual attack skill. It's not required, but dual attacks can cause you issues with Ravi doing that counter stun on her third attack, so I turned it off to lessen the chance of that. Of course, Spirit's Breath, the ultimate Abyss artifact on A-Lots, is highly recommended. And Falconer Clury is an interesting pick here. With the Guardian's Blessing, she does extra heals with her S1, and her passive heals, she can be stunned and still function as a passive healer. So that's why I picked her. I'm going to try to let her eat all of the stuns. So here's that Devil Dive attack that will take 80% of my health away. Pop. There we go. Almost dead. So don't freak out. You can come back from this. It also reduces my healing by 10% potential. Starts to stack on that. Now, you see I'm using my Falconer Clury, I'm hitting the adds, because my Falconer Clury has almost no chance to crit, and that way I don't stack up the, well, there's the dual attack, even though I turned that skill off. So you can see that was the third attack, which caused Ravi to counter. Luckily, I 15% resisted the counter stun, so my A-Lots is still in the game. Now here I'm debating whether or not to push up lots to help myself heal. Oh, one other thing, you notice the little shield break icon on Ravi's bar? While Ravi has that, she's got 20% reduction to speed and 20% reduction to defense. It's her own little built-in defense break, so while that's up, you can actually do pretty significant damage to Ravi. More than normal. It's not huge, but hey, every little bit helps. So while that debuff is up, it's a good time to be spamming some damage into Ravi. Now, there really are no thresholds or crazy mechanics. It's like this all the way through. It just gets a little harder to deal with because your ability to heal goes down, and that just makes it a little harder to survive. Here's the S2 that can stun. I resisted that. How nice. If you run Fire Surin, you can put the evasion artifacts on her. That will give you additional chance. You can't be stunned on a miss, so it'll give you additional chance to survive the stuns. Again, making Surin yet again better for this fight. If you don't have the Bike and Artifact Torn Sleeve, you almost have to use Surin. I don't think Tempest Surin on her own can get 5 bleeds in one round. I mean, it's possible, but it'll be tough. So you see, I've got 4 bleeds up so far. If that Berserk was level 4, I would have triggered the ultimate. That was the 3rd hit into Ravi. It triggered the stun and stunned my Surin. And that's what you kind of want to avoid. In an ideal situation, you want to have Falcon or Clury eat that stun so you don't lose the turn on Surin. Not so important right now, but very important during the phase where you're trying to stack all those bleeds. And that's this phase. You can see the Berserk face is super angry. So I got 1 bleed, 2 bleeds. I need 3 more bleeds to secure this. So if I get the double bleed on Surin and the 3rd bleed from Torn Sleeve, 3. Okay, can Lots do it? Can I get 2 more bleeds?
Leave it to me.
There we go. So that's 5 bleeds, and that triggered weakness. So I've secured the star condition. I no longer have to worry about that aspect of the game. I now just have to deal with killing off Ravi. Here's the Devil Dive attack, which takes 80% of your health away and reduces your ability to heal by another 50%. When I say 80% of your health, it's 80% of your current health. She can't one-shot you with this skill ever. It just, whatever your current health is at, if you only have 100 health left, she takes you down to 20 health. Now, Flurry's passive heals, combined with Greenlot's regen buff, really helps keep the healing poured on this fight. You'll be surprised how healthy you can stay with what is seemingly such a weak healer. Tempest Surin's passive to only take 50% damage also helps quite a bit. You don't have that with Fire Surin, but I still think Fire Surin is the way to go in this fight. So here's a fun little Lots interaction you can use to help with healing. You've got the regen buff on everybody, and Lots and A-Lots are both hurt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my S2 to push up and heal A-Lots, then A-Lots is going to S2 and push up Greenlots. That healed both of them. Now Greenlots can use his S1 skill. See, I got the counter, so that CR pushed. That dual attacks really kind of hurt you here.
Now's my time to shine.
And I can push up Greenlots again. Now his S3 is ready, and he can heal retouch the regen buff on everybody, and do a little bit of healing. And nobody hit Ravi. Nobody reduced her ability to counter. There's those adds special attack. They're S3 attacks. One of them, the S3 attack, puts defense break on everybody. The other one, the S3 attack, has a 10 to 40% combat radius reduction to various members of your team. Fun, right?
I'm ready.
Now, unfortunately, I haven't been paying attention, so I don't know how many hits I've done on Fire Ravi, but if you look closely right there when she's hit, you'll see the skill Demon's Blood, and it'll say Demon's Blood times 2. Once it says Demon's Blood times 3, that's when you'll get the counter stun. Oh, lovely. She used her slaughter attack and stunned somebody else too. But the stun really isn't that big of a deal. You can cycle through the stun with your CR pushes. Now Surin's at the back of the line, so I'll push her up to heal her and to get rid of that stun. And now we'll continue with the fight. Ravi has been reset, so there's no reason to hit Ravi. Unfortunately, I did crit with my very low crit chance flurry and push their team. That's going to happen. Now, on that note, something to consider. A-Lots is a dark unit. If A-Lots Spirit's Breath doesn't proc and I need to ditch his S1 skill into somebody, ditch it into the purple mob. Because he has elemental advantage over the light mob, that's a plus 15% chance to crit, so he's just that much more likely to crit and CR push the enemy. So if you need to get rid of Alot's skill or cycle his turns, the purple mob's who you should attack.
I'll try my best.
Now, I've not been paying attention yet again. I'm not sure where we're at on the Demon's Blood. We were at Demon's Blood ×3. So again, Surin eats the stun. Would have been a good time to have Flurry eat that stun. Real nice thing about Flurry is her passive heal happens whether or not she's stunned. So she's a unit that can afford to be stunned. Here is the next Devil's Dive attack, which thankfully won't hit as hard, I believe due to the weakness debuff that I've applied, but it is still reducing my ability to heal. I've now lost 20% of my ability to heal. Part of why you need to burst down Ravi relatively quickly, because if you let that get all the way up to the negative 50% heal, where it cuts your healing abilities in half, I don't know that you can weather the damage, especially if those ads stick a defense break on your team. So here everybody's hurt a little bit. I'm debating on using Arky, but I'm going to save it. I'd like to use Arky when she's a little bit closer, so I'll just hit an ad and of course crit. At least I didn't crit that time. Now's a good time I can play the A-Lots game where I push Lots. Lots can S2 to heal. You know what? Lots can S2 himself. Yeah, I'm going to have Lots S2 himself. That will heal himself, and then he can take another turn and use his S3. As I'm wearing Doctor's Bag, that will just cycle the Doctor's Bag healing even faster. This also works if you're wearing Unfading Memories or Rod of Amaryllis. All really good artifact options for Lots to keep your team healthy.
I will fight them.
So the next hit into Ravi will trigger her counter. I'm pretty sure my Falconer Clury can lap, so I'm going to use the S3 to strip that crit buff off and apply a defense break.
I'll show you my ability.
And she didn't cut.
I'm strong.
You know what? I want to capitalize on the defense breaks. I'm going to eat the counter, but I want to lay down some damage. And Lots is ready to push her back, so I'm not... Oh, I resisted. That's fantastic. I was just going to cycle her with the push here, but... I'm going to try to cycle Lots around and get some healing going, so I'll push up A-Lots, and that will heal A-Lots up. And then I can push Lots back up and get rid of that defense break. So that's one turn, that removes one of the defense break cooldowns, and this will allow him to remove the other cooldown. Oh dear, I miscounted. I thought I had my S3 ready, I didn't, and of course I dual attack crit and CR push the team. I'm really glad that she didn't randomly target my T-Surin there, or that would have ended the fight. But I pushed T-Surin up, she's stealthed. That's only the first hit. The stealth on T-Surin helps. It keeps the ads from targeting her nearly as much. Okay, so now she's healthy again. This will be hit number 2. And I've got enough Arky, or souls to do an Arky. This will take Ravi down almost to death. There we go, right on the edge. Now, it is the third hit. The third hit's going to make Ravi counter, but I'm going to take it anyway because the defense break is on, and that's enough bleeds to pop and kill her and end the fight. And that's how you do it. This is a difficult fight for many people, I think, because they don't fully understand the mechanics of it. As long as you have Surin or T-Surin and you respect the mechanics of this fight, it's really not that bad. But keeping track of whether you've hit Ravi 1, 2, or 3 times, knowing not to crit the ads, there's a lot to this fight that can brick your runs if you aren't careful and you don't pace it. But once you understand the mechanics, it's pretty straightforward, and I think knowing this will help you guys clear this floor relatively easily. I hope it does, at least. If you like the video, definitely give it a like, and if you're enjoying the content, consider a subscribe, and I will see you all on floor number 16. Have a great one.